that listen. Love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who abuse you. If anyone strikes you on the cheek, offer the other also. And from anyone who takes away your coat, do not withhold even your shirt. Give to everyone who begs from you. And if anyone takes away your goods, do not ask for them again. Do to others as you would have them do to you. The Gospel of the Lord. You may now be seated. Well, good morning, and thank you so much for the opportunity to share my passions about campus ministry with you all. I'm grateful that all of you made it through this lovely snowstorm we had this weekend. I know that put a damper on a lot of people's fall plans, but here we are, all surviving. My name is Julene Hawkins, and I'm a senior nursing student at UND and a student leader at Christus Rex. I grew up being dragged around to church every Sunday morning and Wednesday evening at Abiding Savior Lutheran Church in Mountain View, Minnesota, which is located just north of St. Paul. From Sunday schools, children's choirs, handbells, to confirmation and youth group, I spent my years absorbing the thoughts and beliefs of those around me. So, like many middle and early high schoolers, I believed I had it all figured out by the time I was confirmed, which I find very funny now, but that's another story. It seemed that if we were all going to heaven, that there was really nothing left to do. In my mind, I didn't need to be engaged in church any longer, and continuing seemed to be pointless, and honestly rather a lot of work, especially when I could spend those extra Wednesday nights and Sunday mornings either in my bed getting extra sleep or hanging out with my friends. However, as life often does, and God often does, something else occurred. In my high school years, I did stop attending church regularly, and I only went if my mom made me or I had nothing better to do. Yet, when I got to college, maybe in an effort to impress the people that I had just met who wanted to go to church, or maybe because God had other plans for my life, I did end up attending church on the first Sunday of college. As I found myself sitting in the sanctuary of Christus Rex, listening to a sermon about justice and love, I felt an extra sort of weight on my chest. None of the sermons I had ever listened to prior had impacted me just as much as realizing that, oh wait, I wasn't done with church and there was so much more left to do. What did they mean that there was work to be done in our community? If I and everyone else had already had salvation, wasn't that enough? As I've come to learn that truly we are saved, but that doesn't mean that we're over and we're not saved for good works. When I first read through the passage from Luke, picked out for the gospel this morning, the word that stood out to me the most was you. I mean, it's in almost every single sentence, if not multiple times in every sentence. And do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who abuse you. At the end of the day, it felt like God was calling me out. These pointed yous did not come comfortably to me, since, as I told you, I pretty much thought all the heavy lifting was done once you were confirmed, and I could ride my grace from here on out with little obligation. Yet, we still do have work to do. And we have to keep learning to love and be a community with collective views. That's one of the things that I'm so incredibly grateful for about Christus Rex, is that it's given me the opportunities to engage in conversations about justice and love and our role in the community, to work towards being a community that does love our enemies and does love our neighbors who may not seem the same as us. When I was reading through the passage in the second reading in Romans, it discusses about how we're called to be more than what it comes to at a time, like more than it seems, I should say. That our role is to be a part of this community that challenges and doesn't necessarily accept the views of those around us, but wants to engage in a world where even our enemies can be blessed with grace. So I thank you all for the opportunities that arise through Christus Rex, and I know that I've been additionally blessed with a lot of those, from attending various spring break trips and being able to help lead worship, and even just getting to have free lunch every Friday. Christus Rex has been a place where it seems safe to engage in those conversations to move forward in my faith. And I thank you all for the continued ministry that you all have provided so that Christus Rex can keep its doors open. I know that in times of college there aren't always the financial resources to be a part of that community like that, but with all of your assistance, I hope that we can continue to give those opportunities to the students that come after me. So thank you all so much for this and for that opportunity. And may God bless you in all that is to come. Amen.